So I wasn't gonna do a video about Incredibles 2, but then I watched it a second time and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do a video. First of all, spoilers. My finger hurts. That was weird. Second of all, I really liked Incredibles 2. It has good jokes, it has good action sequences. I like all the characters and their relationships, and the story is really tight. All the elements in the second act, like the use of the baby's powers, the other superheroes, the Incredicar, they are all set up really well in the first act without it feeling like you're getting exposition. It just feels like you're watching fun scenes. But I feel like half my videos are just me harping on theme. And yeah, that's what this video is. I'm gonna harp on the theme. So there's this part where Elastigirl is trying to track the supervillain's signal, and the whole time she's running through the streets, you are hearing Screenslaver's villainous monologue. Screenslaver is like, people are too lazy and cowardly to have real experiences. They just sit on the couch, eating snacks, getting fat and complacent while they watch other people on the TV live their lives and solve all the world's problems for them. Brainless consumers never try to change the world. The whole reason people like superheroes is they let them vicariously accomplish things they're too lazy to do in the real world. Yeah, Screenslaver, I guess the whole reason I like Incredibles 2 is I'm too lazy to get off the couch and stop a speeding ocean liner with ice I shoot from my hands. I mean, I guess this is a decent outlook for a villain to have, because like, we don't have to agree with them. They're the villain. But the thing is, it feels like Brad Bird kind of agrees with them. I'm just saying Screenslaver's monologue is kind of uncannily similar to that other villain monologue in that other Brad Bird movie, Tomorrowland. Both of them are really mad at people for watching movies. Especially the movie that you were watching right now. Pretend it's 3D like The Incredibles 2. I mean, Tomorrowland was a sci-fi movie about a dystopian future where the bad guy angrily raves about how people watch too many dystopian sci-fi movies. I need water. Incredibles 2 is a superhero movie, and the villain angrily monologues about how people shouldn't watch superhero movies. The villain wants to get rid of superheroes because she says they weaken society by making people passive. And the heroes in Brad Bird movies never make a compelling argument against the villain's beliefs. They don't even really listen to their monologues. These are just for our benefit, I guess. The heroes are always just kind of like, it's wrong to kill people, and that's true. So they have the moral high ground, and then they just break the villain's machine or punch them in the face or something. A movie that wasn't on the villain's side and wanted to round out their theme might have thrown in like at least a single scene to serve as a counterpoint to prove that the villain is wrong. You know that scene in Spider-Man, the best movie of all time, where Spidey and Green Goblin are fighting on the bridge, and then the common people like come up to the railing and they throw rocks at the Green Goblin, and they're like, you mess with one of us, you mess with all of us. Do I sound like a New Yorker? Incredibles 2 could have literally just had a scene like that. I wish it was the exact same scene. Just verbatim. They needed a scene where the villain's plan is in some way thwarted by a non-superpowered character putting themselves in harm's way to help. Maybe in the part where the superheroes are all under mind control. Maybe it could even be a civilian character the heroes already saved earlier in the movie, like the senator that Elastigirl saved from the plane crash. Like, she's on the boat, right? Yeah, she signed the thing first. She's on the boat, and like it would have been a nice counterpoint to her fainting when Elastigirl saved her the first time, to see her now being brave. And then since it's a kid's movie and you say your thesis out loud, you could have a character then say, superheroes don't make people lazy, they inspire them to be brave. And everyone on the boat goes, yay! You mess with one of us, you mess with all of us. Now, they have a moment where the boat is speeding toward the shore. The Incredibles have neutralized the threat of the other superheroes, and now they just have to stop the boat from crashing. Meanwhile, a bunch of inconsequential superheroes and political ambassadors are all below decks, being held in stasis by a hypnotic screen. Our villain, Evelyn, is trying to get away, and she's dragging her brother onto the plane. She's like, come with me, it's for your own good. And her brother Winston, who is an innocent in all this, is like, no, and he jumps off the plane and he runs below decks. He smashes the screen, which breaks breaks everybody out of their trance, and he's like, superheroes, protect the ambassadors. So I think that is supposed to be our scene of a non-superpowered character making a difference, but there is a huge, terrible reason that does not work within this story. Earlier in the movie, they told us the backstory of Evelyn and Winston's family and what happened to their parents. We are told that their dad was a crazy billionaire who loved superheroes, and he was friends with them all, and he had all these special phones in his house that were direct lines to the superheroes, and he loved to show them off at parties. One night, a bunch of burglars broke into their house, and Mom begged Dad to get in their safe room. Yes, they have a safe room. Instead, Dad insists on going to the superhero phones, and no, the superhero phones are not in the safe room. I don't know why. And the superheroes don't arrive, and the dad is standing out in the open, and so the burglars shoot him. And then the mom died of sadness. Ladies do that sometimes. So now let's roll it back and think about Winston jumping off the plane. His sister is urging him to get on the plane, which will take him to safety. He instead runs to the room where the superheroes are. He breaks them out of their trance and gets their attention and asks them for help. If the boat crashed, they would have all died anyway. The superheroes below decks didn't seem to have any kind of plan or applicable power other than, like, hold on to something. Fortunately, the Incredibles and Frozone managed to turn the boat and then soften the impact enough that it's just like a little bump. So what we have is Winston almost beat for beat repeating his father's fatal mistake of putting himself in unnecessary danger to help no one and go ask a superhero for help. Maybe in the siblings' backstory they should have made it that, like, the father intervened in a mugging or something. There's no safe room. It's just like he has the choice to either directly help somebody or do nothing, and he chooses to die a hero. Then you can kind of see both sides, and, like, instead of him just doing a stupid thing, you're kind of like, oh, I get why he did that. And then at the same time, you understand why Evelyn would maybe have some resentment for him doing that and leaving them fatherless. And then her thing is like, vigilantism sets a dangerous precedent, and things should be left to the authorities. I hate superheroes. I don't know. Instead, you're just kind of like, why did the man install a safe room if he wasn't going to use it? I mean, the burglars probably would have just, like, taken their TV and been gone in 20 minutes. But instead, Evelyn's father dies because he's a weird billionaire that likes to show off his creepy collection of superhero phones. That's what you get for liking superheroes, you dumb loser. I mean, what is it with these movies hating everybody that's not born a superhero? Like, so many of them are mean or stupid. It's a universe that's very into the idea of destined inherent greatness, and it punishes any characters who try to rise above their predetermined role. I mean, in The Incredibles too, we have the villain's plan get defeated by literally a superpowered baby. Is there any more direct metaphor for unearned power than a superpowered baby? We have this woman who's a technological genius. You know, she's toiled away her whole life, and she would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for a teenage girl, a 10-year-old boy, and a literal baby that just happened to be born with superpowers. Sorry, Evelyn. I would feel like I was reading too much into it, but Brad Bird seriously does this in so many of his movies. Why is he so into the idea of being born special? I mean, he wasn't always this way. The literal stated thesis of the Iron Giant is, you are what you choose to be. The Iron Giant was manufactured specifically to be a weapon, but we learn that it doesn't matter what you were made for or born as. And the protagonist of that movie is just an ordinary kid. We don't have his mom inform us that Hogarth was predisposed to be exceptionally kind. And we don't have the villain pause in the climax of the movie to complain about how people watch too many Boy and His Robot coming-of-age stories, and it's ruining the world. But then you look at the first Incredibles movie and it's like, Syndrome says, man, it's not fair that some people are born with superpowers and other people just suck, and I'm gonna make technology so that everyone can be equal. And then the Incredibles are like, it's wrong to kill people. They punch him in the face. In Tomorrowland, the epilogue is Casey going out into the world to find child prodigies who are destined to save the world. They send out a task force of child robots specifically to find the specialist people. I mean, even Ratatouille. The closing monologue tells us that not everyone can be a great chef, but a great chef can come from anywhere. It's a beautiful sentiment because it says that greatness can have humble beginnings. But wait, not everyone can be a great chef. So what, even with hard work and perseverance, sometimes you just can't be a chef? When you look at his total body of work, you're like, wait a second, was Brad Bird saying that Remy was born with some innate ability to cook, which made him more special than all of the other rats? Wait, Remy did have an advantage. He had like a more refined palate. It was like represented through music. Oh my god, the rat did have a biological advantage. Well, that's not such a beautiful moral anymore. Are you telling me that even if Remy's brother Emile had taken an interest in cooking and had gone to culinary school and studied under the best chefs for years and years, he never could have cooked as well as Remy because he wasn't born special? Is there going to be a sequel to Ratatouille where an embittered Emile leads a legion of rats in revenge by storming all of the top kitchens in Paris and shutting down every gourmet restaurant because he's angry that he can't be a chef and he hates people that spend all day reading food blogs and watching the Food Network instead of cooking their own meals? Why do you hate me, Brad Bird? I liked your rat movie. It's my favorite Pixar movie. What did I do to you? So anyway, that's my review of Incredibles 2. Thanks for taking me seriously. Even though, like, you know. I mean, I'm not saying I don't want that Ratatouille sequel. At this point, I think I'll take whatever I can get. It's not fair to your brother, Remy. No wonder your relationship is so broken.